Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 81, and today we're returning with two big games with our Bluebirds as we face Arsenal at home in the Premier League, then Valencia away in the first leg of our Champions League round of 16 tied at Mestalla. Before we play the games though, just calm and getting on off camera. And of course, in the last episode, you saw our 5-0 victory over Doncaster in the FA Cup third round in that thrilling 6-goal affair away at Anfield, where we battled back twice to claim a point against Liverpool. 4 games off camera, 3 in the league and 1 in the FA Cup, and as you can see, 3 wins and a draw. And we started off with a win at home to Watford in the Premier League in midweek by 2-0. Alenya scoring our first 3 minutes in, then Jason scoring, I think his second league goal of the season from the spot, making it 2-0. And wrapping up the points there in a very comfortable win. But following that, a very tough win, but a win regardless away at Goodison Park against our friendly rivals Everton. 2-1 the final score in this game, but there were so many chances. The fact there were only 3 goals was a bit of a surprise. Maria was once again our go-to guy like he has been in recent weeks. Made it 1-0 before Nketiah scored the first goal fans has conceded in a Cardiff City shirt. But 36 minutes in, Maria bagged this brace and also made sure we left with the 3 points. And a great game. Loads and loads of chances. And again, despite the fact there was only 3 goals, it probably should have been more. But following that, the weekend after, we did have that 1 draw in the 4-game streak, and it was away against the Borough in the FA Cup 4th round. And that's why today, before the Valencia game, there is going to be a replay at the Cardiff City Stadium in Wales. But I'm going to play that off camera and just show you the goals before that Valencia game and see if we can get through to the 5th round, or if we do get through, we'll be taking on Southampton in the 5th round. But 2-2 was the final score. We scored our 2 goals inside the first 10 minutes. First, Pedro Antonio capitalising on a goalkeeping error, and then the OG drilled one home to make it 2-0. 10 minutes in, already in control of the game, or so it seemed. But 6 minutes later, Keane made it 2-1, got the host back in the game, and with 80 minutes to go, a bit of bad luck. Kimpembe tried to clear the ball, but it deflected off Ben Davies, went straight to Keane as the Borough battled back from 2 goals down to force that replay. And our final game of camera was in midweek, a 4-0 victory at home to Burnley, where once again, it was the Paleo Maria show. I can't believe this guy has had a total resurgence in form after such a tough start to the season. He only scored 3 goals in I think it was 12 Premier League games, but since then he's been lights out. Bagged the first half hat-trick, goals coming in the first, 14th and 38th minutes for our captain on the pitch. And Dennis also scored another goal in this game as we got the win convincingly by 4 goals to 0. But there was some bad news in the game. Dennis was taken off just before half-time and Jason came on because, as you'll see, he's pulled his hamstring. Not torn hamstring, but he's pulled his hamstring. And that's a big blow as well, because Dennis, of course, our club record signing, 65 million, signed him in the summer. He's taken to life in English football really well. 7 goals in 23, plus 2 assists and 3 man-of-the-match displays already, averaging a 7.21. He's having a great first year with us, and he's also been capped 5 times by France as well since we signed him in the summer, where he was, of course, uncapped. So Dennis has been brilliant. That's a big blow, knowing he's going to miss both the Arsenal game and the Valencia game in today's episode. But right now in the Premier League, as you can see, after those 3 wins in a row, we still sit in 4th place. We're 8 points behind the league leaders Chelsea, though we do have the game in hand, and of course that does come today against the Gunners. So right now, whilst Chelsea are still the front runners and are still the league leaders like they have been for the majority of the season, us, Arsenal, Liverpool and Spurs as well, there's only 8 points separating these 5 teams here. So a long way to go with 14 and 13 games to go for all the teams around Chelsea. Title is not theirs yet. Long way to go. And also, there is something very interesting to report, and we'll start off with a change in the hierarchy. You might have seen it there in the issue screen. First and foremost, I discussed in the last episode, after the departure of Onana, Maria and Sessegnon were our only team leaders, but as we expected, Jason has now stepped up to the plate once again to take on leadership duty, as he is, of course, our captain. Stepped down last year for the good of the team, but he's now back as a team leader, and that's nice to see. But again, I'm pretty sure he'll fall out of that very soon before the end of the season. Hopefully, I'm hoping Kimpembe is going to step up and make the team leader transition. But also, you would have seen it there, or you might have seen it there, Jason has come to me and said he wants a new challenge as he feels he's achieved everything he can at the current club. Now, that was a very painful conversation to have. Let me show you it here. Here we are. So we had a little private chat in my office. And he said he's loved his time here at Cardiff City, but he thinks he's achieved everything he possibly can here, and it's time for him to leave for a new challenge elsewhere. And I said calmly, I said, I can't lose you, mate. Your experience is invaluable. We need you around the place to be a positive influence on the rest of the squad, particularly the youngsters. I just can't let you go. And he said, with all due respect, he needs to focus on his own career, which is true, and he's not willing to put that on hold for the sake of other players. And I said, it's getting a bit out of hand. Let's just calm it down. Let's just calm it down here. Words are being said. let's just remind ourselves, just an informal chat here. And he said, there's no one interested in you at the minute, so I don't know why we're discussing this. And he said, that's a fair point. So we'll come back to it if and when a team expresses interest in him. So right now, Jason, he's starting to think maybe it's time to leave so we can see out his final years, perhaps back in his native Spain, perhaps elsewhere for a new challenge. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for now, he's staying as there's no interest in him. And hopefully, there will be no interest in him before the window slams shut. Because I've sort of not indirectly promised him, but I have kind of said if a bid does come in, then we'll discuss it further. So a little bit of a concern there, because I don't want to lose him, because again, he's not the same player he used to be. The injuries have destroyed him, we know that, but this guy is Cardiff City legend. He's Cardiff City through and through. He's my captain, and I need this guy not for his footballing ability on the pitch anymore, but for what he does for the club off the pitch. Anyway, first game of today's... I fucking love Football Manager. First game of today's episode is Arsenal at home as we take on the Gunners in the evening kickoff. Live on BT Sport, where right now, as you can see, just 4 points separate the two sides right now with 14 games to go, as both teams are trying to put the pressure on Chelsea and breathe down their necks. Now, right down in the report, Davis is out with the flu, and he's going to be... that's it now for Davis. He won't ever play for the club again. Of course, as we know, he's leaving on Wednesday to join Seattle Sounders in America. He'll leave before the Borough game. So, Ben, we salute you. Thank you for all your years of service. I mean, I know you missed that penalty in the Champions League final, but since then, you've taken squad reductions in your status and pay cuts as well. Fair play to you, mate. We'll miss you. Not too much, obviously, but fair play for all your service. And also, Dennis is out, of course, with that pulled hamstring, and again, we won't see him in today's episode. And this is our team for the game: 4-2-3-1, of course, and this our lineup. Fans in goal, back for Oregon Calvers, Kimpembe, Van Dijk, and Odriozola. Midfield duo being Alenya and Ramsden. Further forward, Sessegnon on the left, Sterling on the right, and the OG through the middle. Supporting player Maria, the man of the moment right now, who, as I mentioned, started the season off very poorly, couldn't buy a goal, but in recent weeks he's been much better. He scored a goal in every single one of our games in December, and he's had a good start to January as well. And on the bench for us today, Henderson, Jordi, Stefano, McKennie, Rabiot, Jason, and Pedro Antonio as well. First game at home, it's Arsenal. Let's continue the good run. Come on, you Bluebirds. Van Dijk, by the way, I do want to point out, we've triggered his contract extension. If you remember when we signed him, as I'm going to say to the boys here, calmly, keep it calm. I expect nothing but win from this match to keep our good run going. If you remember, we signed him on a free in the summer. It was a one-year deal, but there was a one-year extension if we chose to give it and trigger it to him. And basically, there was interest from Toronto who were going to take him on a free at the end of the season. But I put a stop to that straight away and said, no, he's staying here. Because whilst he has been concerned about a lack of first-team football, you might have noticed in recent weeks, he has been in the team more than Jordi. He had a tough start to life here, but he's really picked it up. It's Paleo Maria, speaking of picking it up of late, has put us in front 20 seconds into the game, but... it's a VAR, and I think it's been called back, and it has indeed. The goal doesn't count, and it's chalked off by the VAR. I was going to say, he did look offside, to be fair, and he's at least a couple of yards offside. Correct decision, still 0-0. VAR gets it right. Oh, and the OG just bruised his ankle as well. A bit of a concern there. As we know, the OG is injury prone, and he's been very good this season. Our top assist maker, as he stays on the pitch for now, and hopefully he'll be able to run that off. But very exciting start here. Ryan Sessegnon on the ball to Carl Alenya. Takes over the halfway line. Now back to Ramsden. Out wide is Sterling. And Sterling steps in field and drives forward. Raheem, lovely run. Maria. Sessegnon. Great save by Leno. And the German denies him. Still 0-0. We could have been 2 goals up here already. I keep Gonzalez on for now. He is, of course, our most creative player as he whips in this corner. Eric Dyer heads it away, but Sterling controls it well. And Raheem Sterling capitalising on the Dennis injury. Scores his 4th of the year and makes it 1-0. You know, most of his appearances this season have come from the bench, and after the signing of Dennis, that was guaranteed to happen, but he still played very well this season with most games coming from the subs bench. Lovely first touch, better finish. There's the breakthrough finally. Cardiff 1, Arsenal 0. He has a year and a half left on his contract. It's very likely he'll be let go at the end of next season on the free transfer, but he's been a good signing for us, Sterling. I must admit, last year was really good, and this year as well, even in limited minutes, he's still done pretty well. But the OG still nursing that bruised ankle, might take him off of the break. Still leading by a goal though. Good first start for us there. We played very well. What I'm going to do here at half time is take Gonzalez off, play Alenya further forward where he is more effective. And in fact, I was thinking about doing is bringing on McKennie and playing him and Ramsden together as a duo. But instead, what I'm going to do actually is be a bit more brave here. Fortune favours the brave. Let's keep Alenya deep line playmaker, bring on Pedro Antonio, and play Maria now as an advanced playmaker supporting our number 9 up top. I'm going to say to the boys to break as well. Things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better. That was a good first half display, but we can do better than this. 1-0 up, we've played well out there. Let's get a second goal and get a cushion. This result, if we can hang on to it, will put us into third place as we'll leapfrog Spurs' Pedro Antonio off the bench scores a minute and a half into his performance today and doubles our lead. And it'll also put us just 5 points behind Chelsea with 13 games to go. And I believe we'll have a better goal difference record as well. Sessegnon's header, Leno really made a meal of that one. Hits the crossbar, it's fumbled by the German, and Pedro Antonio dives in unmarked to make it 2-0. And we've looked very good out there today. We've been a much better team. We can't rule out Arsenal getting back into the game. If we can go 3 goals up here, that'll be amazing. Paleo on a storming solo. Oh, Leno with the save, storming solo run, just couldn't put a finishing touch on it. Look at the body language of my team. I absolutely love this. Motivated, confident, convinced, calm, and composed as well. And right now we're closing in on a massive, massive victory. But again, if Arsenal get 1 late goal, they could do to us what we did to Liverpool very recently. Stefan Fans, big save, young man. I think it was against Everton when he made a brilliant one-on-one save as well to make sure he won the game there at Goodison Park. And that's another great save there. He's had a great start to life here in Wales. Only 1 goal conceded so far. He's looking like a great signing. Maria. Down the left, back to Alenya, in goes the cross. Oh, and it's all over now. It's all over now. Raheem Sterling back in the starting 11, bags a brace, and will surely get the champagne as well. Carl's with the cross, and Raheem slides it past Leno to make it 3. And I've got to say, this season, we've really improved our form. That's terrible goalkeeping against the big teams. 3-0, what a win. Going to bring on Jason for Ramsden. And I'm also going to bring on McKennie as well. And what I'll do now is I'll operate him in the ball-winning midfield role just to make us a little bit more defensively sound. We'll also lower our tempo down as much as we can and be much shorter in our passing directness as well. 3-0 should be the final score. Big victory for Cardiff City. And Jason might be sitting there thinking he's achieved everything he can at this club. But as we're going to say to the captain, use this game as proof that we can be in a title race. Maybe not this season, but why not? 5 points behind Chelsea, 13 games to go, plenty of time left, and the season is far from finished. 3-0 the final score, what a great win. We've had some excellent performances this season, some great comeback games, and this was definitely one of the best wins we've had all series long, I'd say. We were in control pretty much from start to finish. And I'm going to say to the boys passionately as well, passionately, that was really special, lads. Nobody gave us a chance, but you played magnificently. Congratulations. And again, for Virgil van Dijk, an 8.1. It's so frustrating. He says that he wants more of a chance in the first team because I've given it to him, but that concern hasn't gone yet. He's played very well after a poor start, and thankfully for the OG, it is indeed just a bruised ankle like we thought it would be, and that means he should be able to come back for the Valencia game in a week and a half's time. So, fantastic victory there. The gap at the top of the table cut to 5 points, and again, we do have the better goal difference record as well. That's a massive win. Oh, now Van Dijk wants a transfer request. Speaking of him, we just rejected a loan bid from Porto, and I'm going to do the same to Benfica as well. There's no point in loaning out a 35-year-old that's in the first team. But he says he's unhappy at the amount of football he's getting at the club and feels that leaving is the only way to get the game time he desires. Now, mate, I'm happy to put you on the transfer list, but you've played 10 of our league games this season, 9 of which have been starts. And again, of recent, you've played a lot more games than Geordie. You've played 4 of our 6 games in Europe, both our cup games as well in the FA Cup. I'm surprised about that. I must say, I'm happy to grant it for him, but unless we get a decent amount of money from one of these Chinese clubs, I'm keeping him here. £10 million minimum. Benfica want him, but again, I'm going to keep him until the end of the season at the very least. If they want him, they'll have to wait until the end of the year. I'm not letting him go at this point in the season right now. There's 1 day until the window slams shut. And there's not enough time for us to find a backup centre-back or a new first choice that will be good enough. And again, don't forget, we've not got any money anymore after the signing of Stefan Fans. So either wait until the summer or forget about it. He's staying here until at least the end of the season. I'm not going to take part in the transfer deadline day media coverage as well, because for now I like the team we've got. You might say it's possibly a little bit thin on the ground, especially because, again, Davies is going to be leaving in a few days' time, and there is a chance Guilherme is going to go back to his native Brazil on a loan deal as well. I have accepted that. I'm just not sure if I can part with him or not. But I'm okay with this for now. The biggest concern is the striker role. Only Maria and Pedro Antonio are proper good strikers at the club. Obviously, after selling Ben Woodburn. But I'm okay with things for now. And again, don't forget after the signing of fans and the increase in wages too. Look at the plummet there in our bank balance after Stefan signing. We're apparently going to fail the FFP wage rise regulation as well. That never results in the final, at least not for me. But for now, I'm fine with this. I don't want us to go in the red. We could make a signing, but for now, I want to stay above the red in our bank balance. And I'm going to leave things as they are. I like this team. And also, I think I'm going to keep Guilherme as well. I need to confirm the deal now, but I think I'm going to keep him. Just for squad depth, really. We've got a few players injured now. João Carlos is away on international duty with the Brazil under-20s as well. I think I'll keep him. It will be good to get a bit of money and for the club to pay his wages, but I think we need as much depth as possible right now, so Guilherme will stay. God, and all of our players are dropping like flies. Now Sessegnon is suffering from the flu. Jordi just picked up a virus as well. Davies has got a virus as well. I keep sending the players home, but they must be going around to each other's house to contract it. Sessegnon's down as well. That means he will miss the Borough game. Look at all of this, man. Seriously. We don't even have a fit enough 18 here. And we're just about to play that second game today against Middlesbrough in the FA Cup 4th round replay. Don't forget, I'm going to play this off camera and just show you the goals headed to Valencia game away from home. And again, I think if we get through this tie, we've got Southampton in the next round, and that'll be sandwiched in between this Fulham and City game there. I think it'll be that weekend when we play City, I believe, if we get through tonight. Otherwise, we won't need to worry about it. Anyway, I'll play a game off camera and I'll show you the goals before the game against Valencia. So moving on to the second and final game of today's episode is indeed Valencia away at the Mestalla in the first leg of our Champions League round of 16 tie. We just played the Middlesbrough game in the 4th round replay, and as you can see, beat them by 2-0. Rabiota scored our first goal of the game. Great to see the young Italian on the score sheet, 1-0. We had loads of chances to make it 2-0, but just couldn't score that goal. But then with 17 minutes to go, Brahim came off the bench for his debut in a Cardiff City shirt. We gave him that big contract in the last episode to make sure he wouldn't lose him on a free transfer. I said the future's bright, and it certainly is when he does that sort of stuff. Amazing goal from range in a good 2-0 victory. Has made it through his 5th round, and again, confirmation, it will be against Southampton. That's actually on Tuesday, so sandwiched between the Fulham and City games on the weekend there. I will take them on at home in the FA Cup 5th round. So yeah, second and final game today, Valencia away at Mestalla. We've been on an amazing run and haven't lost a game since the start of December against Porto in the Champions League. Let's see if we can get a good first leg result tonight away in Spain. And my hope is we get a couple of away goals to take back to the Cardiff City Stadium. This is our team for game 4-2-3-1. Right now in the injury report, as you can see, we're still missing Jordi and Sessegnon, both out with a virus, but this will be our lineup. Fans is in goal, but for Goncalves, Kimpembe, Van Dijk and Odriozola with Alenya and Ramsden through the middle. Attacking midfield trio, Rabiot once again on the left, Sterling on the right, and the OG from the middle supporting Maria up top. And on the bench, Henderson. João Carlos is back, so we'll put Henderson, João Carlos, Stefano, McKennie, Brahim, Dennis and Pedro Antonio as well. Second and final game, it's Valencia. Let's get a couple of away goals tonight and a big win. Come on, you Bluebirds. I said it's going to be quite an even tie. Valencia right now, for those curious, 7th place in La Liga, 1 point off Villarreal in that Europa League spot and 4 points off Levante in the 4th and final Champions League spot. It's a good team. They've got a very good team, but I will put us as slight favourites for the game, but only slight. Should be quite a tough one. Again, a couple of away goals tonight is what I'm asking for. So I'm going to say to the boys passionately tonight, a first leg win will do us the world of good in this tie. Go out there and grab it. We have been on a good run for a long time, and eventually it's going to be over, but I don't want it to be tonight. And Paleo says it won't be, Gaffer. I've got this. Maria is just on fire right now. 4 minutes in, there's the away goal I wanted, and it is the captain of the night getting his 23rd of the year. The OG's corner, met by the head of Maria. Pau Lopez doesn't cover himself in much glory, but that's all Maria's been used to of late. Glory, 1-0 and a great start. Didi for Valencia, across to the middle. Janssens are waiting. Oh, fans! Fans, come on! 1-1. You live by it's not got the same ring to it. You live by fans, you die by fans. 1-1. Stefan has his first mistake in a Cardiff City shirt. It comes in a big game. And Didi's cross met by Eddie Janssen. And fans, no hiding place. You got to keep that one out, mate. I've said it before. Goalkeepers in this year's FM are just so bad. You've got to expect mistakes quite consistently, regardless of what goalkeeper you're using. But either way, Stefan, come on, mate. So 1-1 at the break. It's not going to be a bad scoreline if we take this back to the Cardiff City Stadium. But I'm going to say to the boys, I'm not happy, because I want us to win this game and have a couple of away goals at the very least to take back home to Wales. So second half to begin, no change to tactics, still tied at 1-1, but I do see a winner in this game. We haven't lost in a long time. When you're on a long unbeaten run, so often it's a big game where you have your first defeat. Free kick for Valencia. Sisto swings one into the far post. The header comes in, and I tell you what, Stefan fans is having a shocker. Collator Carr makes it 2-1, and it's a shocking start to the second half. Sisto's free kick, whipped into the far post. Oh, fans, where are you going? Where are you going? Come out and claim it or fist it away. A simple header. It's Kimpembe that takes the blame for it, though, now on a 5.9. And Valencia in front. I'm going to say to the boys, show some passion. This will be a terrible first leg result, despite the away goal. I'm going to do what we did against Liverpool and switch to our 4-3-1-2 gegenpress system now. What we'll do is we'll take off Piero and bring on Pedro Antonio, playing up top alongside Paleo. Sterling, I suppose, is going to have to come off now. And what we'll do is, in fact, I'll tell you what we can do here. In fact, let's go to the 4-2-2-2. We did that against Liverpool, didn't we? And let's try that. So Sterling will stay on then as a shadow striker. And we've got Dennis on the bench, but he's more of a wide player, as we know. Brahim's also on the bench as well. But I think I'll do that for now. And we'll go more direct in our play. We'll run at defence too. And yeah, let's go with that. 20 minutes to go, still down by a goal. Alenya dispossessed by Ndidi, and here come Valencia down the right-hand side. Good tackle by Ramsden, though. And Allen charges forward. There's lots of blue shirts coming on the counter to support him. Ramsden, Pedro Antonio. Oh! Pedro Antonio. Pedro Antonio off the bench, putting us back on level terms just like he did at Anfield. Huge second away goal. I wanted at least 2 tonight, and we've got them. We could lose this game 3-2 now, but it wouldn't be a terrible result now that we got those away goals in the bag. Lovely strike into the far corner, 2-2, and our number 9 gets another. Now can we win it? Odriozola to Ramsden, and Allen finds Raheem Sterling, out to Odriozola with space to cross. Oh, Maria squeezes it in off the underside of the crossbar. What a topsy-turvy game away at the Mestalla, but Cardiff City have once again retaken the lead, and it's Paleo bagging his brace. A lovely ball by Sterling to thread the needle, find Odriozola, lovely cross the far post. Maria all alone heads it in off the other side of the bar. 3-2. 1 minute to go as Valencia look for a late equaliser in a fantastic game, as they'll send it long. Kimpembe wins it, and now another chance to counter. We've looked very good on the break in this second half here, especially when switching tactics. Odriozola to Goncalves. There's lots of blue shirts. Look at how many blue shirts we've got in the middle. Ramsden's one of them, and he could have sweated that to Paleo for a cheeky little FIFA cutback goal. That would have been 4. That's greedy from Ramsden there. Either way, it is going to be the win. It would have been a massive goal had Ramsden scored, because that would have mean that Valencia would need to score 3 goals in Wales, but they'll need to score at least 2, and that's still a very good first leg result for us. 3-2 the final score in the east of Spain. That is a brilliant comeback win now. Not a comeback. Yeah, it was a comeback win. We're 2-1 down. Loving the body language once again. Confident, composed, motivated, and convinced. Very nice to see. Kimpembe had a very poor and a rare, very poor performance. 6.0. You don't normally see that from Kimpembe. But I will say a good win, boys. Well done, calmly. I've said before, it's kind of frustrating how sometimes in FM, they assign the error to the player that didn't actually commit it, because that second goal was definitely Fans' mistake, no doubt about it. He came for the ball, got nowhere near it, and instead it went down as Kimpembe error. That's one thing I do hope they improve on, knowing what player to dictate the error to, so they take the hit in the performance. But either way, massive win now, absolutely huge comeback win. We're sort of becoming the king of the comebacks now. You've done that a couple of times already this season against Arsenal, against Liverpool as well, and to get that win too. Did we do that against Atletico Madrid as well, didn't we? I can't remember now. But anyway, great win, and again, going into the second leg now. Valencia must score at least twice in Wales, otherwise we are into the next round. I think we'll be fools really to not come back for that second leg, and then Manchester United at home as well in a very good doubleheader, and that's when we'll return. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed today's episode, if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a great day, and I'll see you for the next episode again, featuring that second leg and then United at home in the Premier League as well very soon. Bye now.